NBC9 News at Noon starts now.
New updates in a nearly decade-old case. The details of a settlement for the family of Adrian Jones.
And it's beautiful today in Kansas City. It'll feel like summer this weekend, and I have an update on when you can expect storms.
Arrowhead will host a soccer superstar this weekend. How tomorrow's big match against Messi could prepare KC for the 2026 World Cup. Well, we want to thank you for joining us at noon on this Friday. I'm Jamie Weiss. Right now, a hearing is underway related to the 2015 death of 7-year-old Adrian Jones. His story is a case of abuse at the hands of his father and stepmother. Rebecca Gannon is following the latest details this afternoon.
Today is essentially the last step in the settlement process for relatives of Adrian Jones. And this is really the end of the civil litigation process in what has become a really disturbing case. Now, last month, the state of Kansas agreed to pay $1 million to 3 relatives in Adrian Jones's family, his mother, his grandmother, and sister. Now, the women say social service workers in both Kansas and Missouri knew the boy was being tortured and could have prevented his death, and they initially wanted $25 million. The state of Kansas alone had more than 2,000 pages of records on the boy, yet never removed him from the custody of his father or stepmother. Eventually, 7-year-old Adrian Jones was starved, tortured, and fed to pigs. It was a gruesome story when it happened in 2015. Records show that the state of Kansas received reports about his abuse for several years before his death, but social workers claimed that because the father and stepmother moved across the state line, it was difficult to track him. Now, both Adrian Jones's father, Michael, and stepmother, Heather, are serving 25 to life in prison for his murder. This case, by the way, sparked Adrian's Law, which mandates that social workers have to see the child physically if there's any claims of abuse. In KCK, Rebecca Gannon, KMBC 9 News.
Kansas City, Kansas police are investigating a deadly hit and run earlier this morning. Police found a man lying on the side of the road with vehicle debris. This was near K7 and Hollinsworth Road. He died at the scene. There is no suspect information at this time, but if you know anything that could help, call the Crime Stoppers tips hotline at 816-474-TIPS. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice is out of a Texas jail this afternoon. This comes after he posted bail last night. Rice turned himself into custody of the DeSoto, Texas Police Department last night. That's just outside of Dallas. This all stems from that high-speed chase and crash on a Dallas highway. You see those 2 cars there losing control before hitting other vehicles. Rice admitted he was driving the Lamborghini involved. At least 4 people were hurt in this wreck, and fortunately, they were all expected to be okay. Rice faces 8 charges, including aggravated assault, which carries a possible prison sentence of up to 20 years. So far, the Chiefs have not released a statement about all of this. The NFL tell us that the league is keeping a close eye on what is happening. Tomorrow marks 1 year since Kansas City teen Ralph Yarl was shot while trying to pick up his brothers from a friend's house. Yarl had gone to the wrong home. He was shot in the head and the arm. Though he has physically recovered and is back in school, his family says he will carry these scars for a long time. Yarl had knocked on the door of Andrew Lester's home, and prosecutors say Lester opened fire. Lester is charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. His trial is scheduled to start on October 7th. A man is being charged in the death of a 27-year-old in Edgerton, Kansas. Joseph Wackister is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Cade Blackburn. Blackburn was found dead inside of an Edgerton home late last month. Police found Wackister and arrested him in Oklahoma the next day. Okay, it is a busy weekend across Kansas City. I want to check in with First Alert meteorologist Katie Horner. And what a change we are seeing from what was really cold earlier this week to just gorgeous.
Yeah, we're just kind of flowing through the seasons in about 3 days. A couple of mornings ago, it felt like a wintry morning. Today is going to be nice. Yesterday was so windy. That's what makes today a better day, and that it's not going to be real windy. It is breezy. Winds are currently out of the northwest at 13, but it's not gusting to 40 miles an hour like it was yesterday. And look at that, we're already up to 61 degrees. Our forecast is to go from the 50s and 60s where we are now into the upper 60s. Even some will hit the lower 70s this afternoon. That northwest wind will continue at 10 to 15 miles an hour. And the sky, as you see it now, is going to remain nice and clear through the day, and lots of starlight this evening. Our 12-hour forecast on this Friday, if you're meeting folks for happy hour, getting an early start on your Friday night. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s around 6 o'clock. Late night dinner out with friends. Sky will be clear. Temperatures will be falling from the mid 60s into the mid-50s. We do have thunderstorms in the forecast, though. They arrive early next work week on Monday and Tuesday. We'll look at this and the severe weather potential coming up.
All right, thanks, Katie. We do have a traffic alert for drivers in Jackson and Clay County. This all has to do with the Buck O'Neil Bridge project, so pay close attention here. Crews have already closed the left lane of eastbound I-70 from Beardsley Road to Broadway Boulevard. The left lane on westbound I-70 from Broadway to Beardsley is closed, as is the right lane on northbound I-35 at 12th Street. All these closures will open back up by 3 this afternoon. Keep in mind, detours will be marked in the area today. Today, the Kansas City, Kansas Fire Department is hosting an event called Sound the Alarm. It's a neighborhood-wide canvas event to install fire alarms for folks who live in the Argentine and Armourdale neighborhoods. If you would like to take part, you are encouraged to make an appointment by calling the number here on your screen. That is 913-573-5971. The biggest fundraiser of the year for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kansas City is just a day away. Kids Night Out, hosted at the Overland Park Convention Center, is Saturday night. It'll feature a cocktail hour, dinner, live auction, and a private concert by Thomas Rhett. The president of the Boys and Girls Club tells us this event single-handedly raises a quarter of their yearly budget, and he says the community's outpouring of support makes all of their work possible.
It's driving the bus to the field trip, and it's you know, the cooks in all of our kitchens, and it's the tutors that are teaching young people to achieve at a higher level, and reading scores, and our teens going to college, and all of that. That's what it funds.
The tickets are nearly sold out, and the silent auction items have been posted online already, so anyone can be welcome to place their bids to support this cause. Tomorrow, Lionel Messi, arguably one of the greatest soccer players ever, is taking the pitch at Arrowhead Stadium to take on Sporting Kansas City. This is the first time Sporting KC gets to play at Arrowhead since 2010. The match also comes on the 28th anniversary of Kansas City's inaugural MLS match. But all the fanfare aside, Sporting players know that they still have a match to win.
We have to just put it in our head that it's a normal game, and you have to go out there and be yourself and play your own game. But we are also not stupid. We know what Messi can do and these guys can do. So we just have to be focused and locked in even more than usually.
So the huge crowd anticipated tomorrow at Arrowhead is all to see Sporting and Messi. So this is a bit of a dress rehearsal when it comes to the World Cup matches that come to Kansas City in 2 years. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine is following that piece of the story.
Tomorrow night's match is a one-time thing, but when it comes to the World Cup in a couple of years, those matches here at GEHA Field at Arrowhead will all be sellouts. So tomorrow's match is a great early taste for local World Cup planners, how to move all those people in and out of Arrowhead Stadium and get a sense of soccer on the global scale beyond the fantastic watch parties Kansas City has thrown the past World Cups. Now, wait a minute, you say. We have Chiefs football here. We move people in and out of here all the time. Well, yes, that's 8 or 9 home games over the course of a long football season with people who are from around here. They understand how to get in and out of here. When it comes to the World Cup, these sellout crowds will be made up, in many cases, people who've never been here before. They're not from around here. How do you get them here and get them home and make sure they have a great experience? Those large-scale things are very important because the FIFA World Cup is perhaps the largest sporting event there is. Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
The fight for a landfill in South Kansas City continues this afternoon. We've got new details on a proposed settlement. Coming up, what needs to happen in the Missouri legislature for this to move forward. Family, friends, and co-workers are mourning the loss of former Chiefs cheerleader Crystal Anderson, who died from complications of childbirth. Next, her husband's message to expecting families.
Your station leading the way, getting you answers on the stories that matter most to you and your family. KMBC 9 News.
New details on that fight over a potential landfill in South Kansas City. The city of Raymore is proposing a settlement with landfill developer Jenny Monheiser. Monheiser wants to build the landfill on Raymore's northern border. That's just south of 150 Highway. Neighbors have fought against it for more than a year. There is a special meeting on Monday night in Raymore about this issue. The settlement would be contingent on what happens in the Missouri General Assembly. Strong winds created some challenges for firefighters in northern Platte County yesterday. It created a big wildfire that resulted in the evacuation and damage of several homes. Officials say the grass fire started in a dry lake bed early yesterday afternoon. With 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, it quickly spread out of control. The fire burned more than 3 miles from north to south.
Part of the other issue is that we're not dealing with just this one. We've had at least 3 on the interstate today, and there's one that's on the other side of the bluff that some of the folks had to leave.
Residents who were evacuated were allowed back into their homes early yesterday evening. The high winds also made it difficult to put out a fire at this Kansas City apartment building. Take a look here. The flames damaging about 6 units inside this 3-story building. This was on Tracy Avenue. Multiple families had to find a different place to sleep because of it. Investigators are still looking into what started the fire. A postal worker is recovering after a wreck in Douglas County, just north of Lawrence. Sheriff's deputies say the car hit the mail truck on East 1400 Road. This was yesterday afternoon. The mail carrier was taken to the hospital. The carrier is expected to recover. No word yet on the extent of injuries to the other driver. Harrisonville police want to keep you safe from a new home buying scam. So police are fielding several reports of scammers listing a property on social media. Buyers are then asked to pay a deposit online without ever seeing the home. Don't do that. If you see a listing online, always meet the property owner. Make sure that house is actually for sale before you make any deposits. Friends and family of a former Chiefs cheerleader hope that their story of loss can help someone else. Crystal Anderson died last month after giving birth to a stillborn baby. She was on the sidelines for more than 100 games cheering on the Chiefs. Crystal was also an activist, encouraging women to get into tech.
She was part of the KC STEM Alliance, and she really wanted, women, specifically Black women, to know that they can go into coding and they can go into software engineering and they can make a difference there. And it doesn't have to be social media or any of that. You can make meaningful change in industries that need meaningful change.
Yeah. And she was pretty much the poster girl for women in tech, and even helped me kick off that event that's been held at Oracle's campus for years in Kansas City.
The Chiefs Cheer Instagram account shared this tribute to Crystal, and her husband just hopes that other families that are expecting can hear their story and just have a plan in place for preventive prenatal care. Roland Park police are investigating vandalism at one community garden. Someone uprooted the plants and damaged the scarecrow in Roland Park. Volunteers plant and till these garden beds to help local families in need, but now their harvest has been set back 6 months.
This is all for harvesters and for the food banks. So you're really stealing from poor people if you do that.
This is a labor of love for the volunteers. They have replaced what they can so far. They're just not sure how much will survive. If you would like to help out, there will be a planting event happening tomorrow morning at 10. That's behind the community center at 4850 Rosewood Drive. Again, that is in Roland Park. The 2024 NFL Draft is less than 2 weeks away in Detroit, Michigan this year. And we now know some of the prospects who are going to be there in person, just hoping to hear their name called. And this year, the list includes a Missouri Tiger. Defensive tackle Darius Robinson is one of 13 prospects confirmed to be going to the draft. Alabama and Louisiana State are going to have the most representatives there. 3 players from each school are scheduled to be there. The other players are coming from Ohio State, UCLA, North Carolina, Toledo, Washington, and USC. The NFL Draft kicks off Thursday, April 25th. The Chiefs get the last pick of the first round because we're Super Bowl champions. But you can watch all 7 rounds over the 3 days of the event here on KMBC 9. The Kansas Jayhawks are hosting their annual spring showcase tonight at Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence. Families can come get a first look at the 2024 Jayhawks, take part in some competitions, enjoy inflatables, giveaways, food trucks, and more. The showcase starts at 5:30 this evening. It's free to go. Just make sure you are following KU's clear bag policy. You can always look that up on the KU Athletics website. So, Katie, as we check in on the forecast, it is a busy weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Can we be in shorts for that kickoff event in KU?
You could almost be in a bathing suit. It is going
okay.
to, well, not at the kickoff. event. But yeah, if you had a backyard pool that you had open already, it is going to be hot this weekend. Let me just show you. Here we are today. 69 will be our high temp this afternoon. 70 in Paola, 68 in Odessa. That's not far from what's seasonally normal this time of year. 65 is the normal high. Tomorrow we go 20 degrees warmer than what is normal. 85 degrees. The price though tomorrow will be a strong south wind. South to southwest wind, 20 miles an hour, and then gusts up to 30. So not as windy as yesterday, but still a wind that you will have to deal with whatever you're doing outside. For the Sporting KC match tomorrow at Arrowhead, of course, the wind will still be strong even after the sun sets, and sun will set at 7:55, and the temperature will still be 80 degrees even then. And then by the second half, 75 degrees. And then Sunday morning at 8 a.m., they're running Noah's Bandage Run, and this is out at Corporate Woods. The race begins at 8 a.m. and it will be 65 degrees, and the winds won't be as strong. They'll come from the southwest at 10 to 15. And Sunday afternoon, it is downright hot, 88 degrees. That's a normal high in the summertime in Kansas City. And the record is 92. So we're probably not going to set the record, but it's still going to be very hot. That sets up the atmosphere because not only will it be hot, it will also be muggy. And you'll feel that. You'll feel like, man, this is just really thick air. That's going to give way to a chance of rain and thunderstorms, most likely not until Monday evening or overnight Monday into Tuesday morning. A lot still has to be determined with this storm system, and the speed of it is one of the main things. But the energy from it crosses Kansas City, and by Tuesday, there is at least a risk of severe weather from about Blue Springs eastward. So that crosses over Kansas City sometime in this time frame when we feel confident enough to narrow that down, because we don't want you to get all prepared for one day and then it comes the next day instead. We'll put an impact day or an alert day on this. But for right now, just know we're still monitoring this. It's day 4 and day 5 on the severe weather outlook. So there is time that this may change a bit, but we want you to be prepared. Over the weekend, hot, still hot on Monday, a little bit down on Tuesday to 78. We'll stay in the upper 70s Wednesday. A slight chance of rain on Thursday. And next weekend, Jamie and I are going to be anchoring the news together on Saturday. And it'll be partly cloudy and 66 degrees.
Hey, looking forward to that for a lot of reasons. Thanks, Katie. Well, the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department is honoring 12 officers for their bravery. Next, we're going to show you one act of heroism, earning 2 officers some recognition.
Saving you money on stuff you need for your kids. You'll want to see this. Rossum reports with the trade-in deal you can't miss, and you get to cash in right now.
A Lee Summit North baseball player was surprised with the opportunity of a lifetime this morning. 16-year-old Trey Paulding is headed to the Jackie Robinson Training Complex in Vero Beach, Florida. This is for the MLB Breakthrough Series. The program focuses on developing the player on and off the field through seminars and mentorship, all while providing them with a platform for the players to perform, and scouts and collegiate coaches get to look in too. Trey says he is so thankful for this honor.
So it's good to see something like that, my progress, and that hard work is paying off. It's good validation.
Big congratulations to Trey. This is in connection with the Urban Youth Academy. Kansas City, Missouri police officers are being honored for their work, and the department held their annual award ceremony last night. Chief Stacey Graves was there to present officers with life-saving awards. These honors are given to officers who sacrifice their own safety to save the lives of people across Kansas City. Two of the honorees got nationwide attention for saving a baby's life. If you remember, officers Richard Duquesne and Charles Owen had saved a girl who had stopped breathing because she was suffering from RSV.
It's a situation that's scary and can sometimes feel helpless, especially for parents involved. You could tell the parents in that situation were panicking. They were scared. They didn't know what to do. They called for help, and those officers answered that call. They got there. Their training kicked in immediately. They administered medical aid. They administered first aid, and that baby's alive.
12 officers received honors last night. A film is spreading awareness about the lack of diversity in the beer industry. Black brewers and craft beer lovers attended a special screening of One Pint at a Time, which shines a light on the adversity brewers of color encounter. One brewer says it's important to research how Black Americans have contributed to the beer industry.
When you think of beer, you're not thinking of people of color. You're not thinking of women. You're thinking flannels, beard, what the One Pint film tells you. You know, it started all of this, you know, from Africa, from the motherland, who started brewing first. So essentially, I'm just reconnecting with my lineage.
Filmmakers say this documentary has been screened in more than 20 countries. Well, there's a new way for you to save money this month on all the things your kids may need. Jeff Rawson shows us the unique trade-in program happening at Target.
Hi, yeah, Target's big car seat trade-in event coming up. It's a great way to get some money back on something you're probably not using anymore anyway. You bring in an old car seat in exchange for a 20% off bonus that can go toward a new car seat, a stroller, or other gear that kids or parents need. Here's the best part. It doesn't even matter the condition your car seat is in. Target will take any kind of car seat, even one that's damaged or expired. They're recycling it anyway. And by the way, you can use that bonus coupon twice. Want a new car seat? 20% off. Then you want a stroller? You get 20% off that too. So here's what you do. Sign up for Target Circle Rewards. It's free. Then drop off the car seat at your local Target. The trade-in event is April 14th through the 27th. Then you have until May 11th to use your discount either in-store or online. Those dates and the links at RawsonReports.com. Hope you save. That's what we're here for. Back to you.
Sporting Kansas City is getting ready to host a soccer legend. Next at noon, we've got your full guide to tomorrow's match against Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. If you live in Johnson County this weekend, you might run into some delays. Next, we're getting you prepared for some closures for the 69 Express project. And as we take a live look outside Kansas City, it is going to be a gorgeous start to the weekend. Katie and I will be back with more news and weather in just 3 minutes.
Your station leading the way with First Alert Weather, Kansas City's largest, most experienced team, KMBC 9 News.
Well, thanks for sticking with us at noon. I'm Jamie Weiss. Katie Horner has your First Alert forecast. Just talking about the warm-up we're getting. Yeah. I had a friend invite me to a pool party this weekend. Yep. That's how warm it's supposed to be.
Yeah, a little too soon to get in a swimsuit here, but to sit by the pool,
it should be
your
nice.
Feet in, yeah. Today's a little chilly for that, but it sure is a pretty day. It is mostly sunny. Today at 3 o'clock, we'll be up to 67. We'll hit a high today of 69 and starlight tonight. Beautiful Friday night in Kansas City. Let's talk about the air we're trying to breathe. If you are an allergy sufferer, you're probably getting more uncomfortable today than you were yesterday. The numbers are starting to increase again. Pollen is the hickory tree. Mold count is also high. Air quality is good. The Skycast around the area checked all the sensors and they're coming in green today as far as our air quality. Today, our winds are considered to be on the low side. Tomorrow they're going to be medium. They're going to pick up to 35-mile-an-hour gusts, sustained at 20. And then they die down again on Sunday. Sunday is going to be a really hot day. Monday, the day that we've got storms coming in, most likely Monday night, it gets windy again. But this is the point I wanted to make. I want you to see Tuesday. Whether or not it's raining or not, just the environment itself is going to create what could be severe winds. We're looking at gusts potentially up to 50 miles an hour on Tuesday. So be prepared for perhaps some thunderstorms Monday going into Tuesday, and then it gets super windy. So anything that might be lightweight left outside over the weekend needs to be secured before these winds move in, Jamie.
Okay, appreciate that heads up. Thanks, Katie. Kansas City, Kansas police are investigating a deadly hit and run. This happened just before 1:45 this morning. Police found a man laying on the side of the road with vehicle debris. This was near K7 and Hollinsworth Road. He died at the scene. There was no suspect information at this time, but if you know anything that could help police, call the Crime Stoppers Tips Hotline at 816-474-TIPS. Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice is out of jail after turning himself into Dallas police on Thursday. He posted bail last night. Rice faces 8 charges for his role in a 6-car crash on a Dallas highway. This happened last month. It appears to be the result of a street racing event. 4 people were hurt. The charges include 6 counts of collision involving bodily injury, 1 count of collision involving bodily injury, and 1 count of aggravated assault. The Chiefs told us on Wednesday that they don't have a comment while the NFL is watching this case closely. Rice's attorney issued a statement writing part, quote, "I want to reemphasize Mr. Rice's continued cooperation with law enforcement. Mr. Rice acknowledges his actions and feels deeply for those injured as a result of the accident. Our legal team is now tasked with reviewing all legal documents." We're going to keep watching this story, bringing you the latest on any potential for punishment for Rice and any word from the Chiefs or the NFL moving forward. You can look for those updates on air and online at KMBC.com. There have been almost 800 car break-ins in Kansas City, Missouri alone since the start of the year. The latest have been happening in Brookside, where 20 recently occurred. Ring camera video shows one of the incidents where someone with a flashlight walks up to a black SUV in a driveway and breaks the window. You see it happening there, right side of your screen. In the end, they only took a passport, but the owner says she has a nearly $800 repair bill.
I came out and I looked and I saw glass just shattered all over the back seat, and I went running in and yelled at my husband. Someone broke into the vehicle. It makes you kind of question the decisions that you make, and it just makes you uneasy feeling is really what it comes down to. I was up literally all night last night just looking out the window like, are they coming back today?
Police are still looking for that suspect. We are learning more from Kansas City police about 2 separate deadly shootings this week with similar circumstances. 2 people have died from shots fired outside of homes that had killed them in their homes. The first happened Tuesday night near 32nd and Agnes. Nancy Stinnett was killed after someone fired shots from outside of her home. And then Wednesday night, 11-year-old Courtney Freeman was shot and killed, those shots also coming from outside of the home. Police say detectives are working around the clock to find the people responsible.
There's people out there that know who is involved in these violent crime cases, and all of us are less safe when people that are willing to do those kind of actions are walking around free.
Officers need tips in order to crack these cases. If you know anything, please take a moment to pull out your phone and scan this QR code, or you can get in touch with the Crime Stoppers Tips Hotline by calling 816-474-TIPS. A reminder that you never have to give your name, but you could be eligible for a $25,000 reward for information. The 69 Express project leading to a big road closure this weekend in Overland Park. 119th Street under 69 Highway is closing to all traffic starting tonight at 7 o'clock. Crews are demolishing a bridge in the area. Marked detours will be in place. This closure is expected to open back up by 5 Sunday evening. Lead to Read Kansas City had a very special guest at T-Mobile Center this morning. It was QB1. Patrick Mahomes met with more than 2,000 kids from nearby schools. 20 area schools participated in the Lead to Read program today. Patrick was able to read a book with the kids. He talked to them about the importance of knowing how to read. And QB1 says reading is very important in life, even in sports.
Before every single play, I have to read off a play to the guys so that we know what we're doing. And everybody can run to the right spots for me to throw. And so knowing how to read is important not only in sports, but anything you do in life. So make sure that before anything, you learn how to read and learn how to read really well, and you'll be able to do whatever you dream.
Not only did Mahomes read with the kids, he also took several questions from them. Sporting Kansas City has a huge home match tomorrow, and it's less about the team they're playing against, more about one of the players they're going to be facing. The legendary Lionel Messi is in town and expected to play tomorrow. KBC 9's Martin Augustine reports from Arrowhead Stadium.
For those of you who don't know, Lionel Messi is perhaps the most famous footballer on the planet. In fact, now that I think of it, there's no argument. He is the most famous. So the demand to see him is unbelievable, and it certainly outstrips the seating capacity at Sporting Kansas City's home pitch, so thus the match will be played here. Now, ostensibly, Sporting Kansas City is preparing for Inter Miami, Messi's current club, but you're not preparing for the team without preparing for Messi. 8 times recognized as the best player in the world by FIFA. His career chock full of scoring and assist records. And oh yes, championships too. 34 trophies with his longtime club Barcelona, and a World Cup 2 years ago with his national team, Argentina. He is a once-in-a-generation talent on the field. And current Sporting KC defender Andrea Fontes, who's played with Messi and against him, says watch out.
It will be special, and we'll try to do a collective job to stop him, to not allow him to be happy in the field, no?
Since coming to Inter Miami, Lionel Messi has been followed by throngs of crowds. So tomorrow night, we get our taste of the Messi mystique. Martin Augustine, KBC 9 News.
It'll be a great game for sure. Well, you might be thinking about doing some spring cleaning this weekend. Coming up next at noon, we are taking a look at some of the best products to help you get organized and clean. We'll be right back. Everyone is likely gearing up for some spring cleaning. Jeff Rawson is searching for the best products. That way you don't have to. He shares the ratings after putting them to the test.
These are some of the highest rated cleaning tools on Amazon, but before you buy them, do they really work? You know how we do it, we're testing them out.
And I'm not doing it alone, I can't. I need the help of our amazing Hearst journalists from across the country. I'll go first, guys. These are little mop duster slippers. We found them on Amazon. You can get a pack of 5 for just $13. I have taken some coffee grounds here, and I'll put some more, and I've just kind of, to simulate dust, I've kind of put them down on the ground. Here, let's see how these work. So I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of this, right? Picking it up. It's getting a lot of it. I mean, you can see the bottom of these. It picked up a lot of stuff, so that's not bad.
They say it works for liquid too. Let's see.
Gone. Gone. And now it's in here. And look, it's not like dripping out or anything. It's pretty good. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. Not perfect with the dry stuff, amazing with the liquid, 4 stars. I get them.
Next up, annoying crumbs. Lauren Seaver from KSBW in Salinas testing out a product to fix that.
Well, they have this brush on Amazon that they claim can clean up crumbs off of any surface, including right off of the sofa. This is called the Manual Rolling Static Brush. It's just $12 on Amazon. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay. Huh. I'd give it about a 3.5 stars because you really have to work at it to get most of the crumbs, but it is very easy to use and look, pretty effective.
Okay, now check out this next product to clean your windows. It's a window squeegee cleaner for $24 on Amazon. And now Tori Yorgi from WBAL in Baltimore is trying it out.
So we're gonna start with the scrubber side, okay? So we're gonna give it a good scrub. There's my little dog trying to be nosy, as we will now turn it. And this is the film collector side, so we'll go down the window. Now it's supposed to collect in this film collector here all of the window cleaner that we just scraped off, actually. And we can see a little bit of it's down there. I didn't do too much, just a little.
Tori's verdict, 4 out of 5 stars, not bad. Now let's head over to Omaha, where KETV's Jack Keenan just found a duster he loves.
You get 4 of these for just $7, and here's how it works. Put your duster sponge in water for 30 seconds, give it a nice couple of squeezes.
We're just happy Jack is finally doing some housework.
Nice and easy, and it collects all that dust.
His final rating?
I gotta give it a 4.8 out of 5 for its affordability, its usefulness, and you get 4 of them.
Gone.
This window certainly is a little dirty.
A big thank you to all of our Hearst reporters for their help with this one. We're going to post links to all of those products on my website, rossumreports.com. Back to you.
Doctors report medication is in low supply, and not just one particular kind. Coming up next at noon, we'll explain why hundreds of life-saving and vital drugs are now making it to pharmacies.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a hot weekend ahead, but one day this weekend will be less windy than the other. I'll show you which one to make your plans for outside.
Your station leading the way with First Alert Weather, Kansas City's largest, most experienced team, KMBC 9 News.
We're keeping you safe with a recall alert for something that could be inside your child's playroom right now. The Yoto mini speaker is being recalled because of the lithium-ion battery. It can actually overheat. There have been 7 reports of this happening. Thankfully, no one's been hurt, but if you do have one of these speakers, just go to the Yoto mini website to find out how you can get a new charging cable for it. A nationwide shortage of potentially life-saving drugs is getting worse. In fact, it is the worst on record, according to a top pharmacist group. So the question now, why and what can be done about it? Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
Doctors and pharmacists are sounding the alarm as a nationwide drug shortage hits a record high, with more than 320 medications now in short supply.
This is one of the worst times that we've had as far as we've been tracking, especially with the total number of ongoing and active shortages.
Experts say some patients are having to forego critical medication because hospitals and pharmacies just can't get it. Cancer treatments, diabetes, ADHD, and injectable drugs critical in life-saving operations are just some of the medications in low supply. Marilyn Martin has type 2 diabetes and has had trouble finding her prescriptions.
I started it and everything was going really good. And then all of a sudden I can't get the dose that I'm on.
Kimberly Yard's daughter is taking the stimulant Vyvanse for her ADHD for years, but her insurance company wants her to switch to Adderall, another drug in short supply.
So you want me to potentially not have consistent medication for my daughter? Instead, really? Why?
Experts say there are several reasons as to why. Supply and demand, manufacturing and raw material issues following the pandemic, and lack of incentive for big pharmaceutical companies to produce the generic drugs that have now become so cheap. Data shows 90% of Americans now rely on generic drugs. Experts say there are often alternative medications, but they come with challenges.
It creates a lot of problems inside the hospital, potential for dosing errors, potential for medication errors, and in some cases, patients have to go without therapy or have their care rationed.
So what can be done? The Biden administration is now urging Congress to pass a law rewarding hospitals that buy drugs from a variety of drug manufacturers. And the FTC is investigating drug distributors to look into whether they misused their market power. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
A Kansas City University student will soon be headed to Boston to take part in one of the biggest races in America. That's, of course, the Boston Marathon. This will be med student Ryan Sorensen's 3rd marathon. Ryan is studying sports medicine, and he's hoping that he can send a positive message about staying healthy and running to stay healthy too.
I'm definitely excited just to be in that atmosphere of running, lots of crowds, lots of people coming out to support all along the 26.2 race. So I'm definitely really excited for that race energy and just everybody out there having a good time supporting each other.
Only 30,000 people are invited to run in the Boston Marathon, but Ryan says he's going to try to run the Berlin Marathon next and then start running for charities, wishing him the best of luck. It feels pretty great to say that the Kansas City Royals are the hottest team in MLB. They are on a 7-game winning streak, thanks in part to a big first inning yesterday.
Is the longest in Major League Baseball this year. Junior gets it up into the wind. Deep right field. Gone!
The Royals recorded 11 hits and 9 runs in the bottom of the first against the Astros. The Royals will continue their dominance in the game, winning 13-3, sweeping the Astros.
We're just putting together great at-bats. We know Brady's on the mound, get him a couple runs, and then just put together good at-bats, like I said, and just compete up there, stick to our plan and approach, and just battle. Just saying, the boys are playing some ball right now. We're having a lot of fun, both on and off the field, and it's a lot of fun, like I said.
Hey, you love to hear it, right? And it wasn't all offense in the game. Bobby Witt Jr. made a great throw to first to get the batter out as Nick Lofton just hurdles him. Thankfully, everyone was okay. The 2 young players were able to just laugh it off after the game. So the Royals are looking to continue their role on the road. They travel out to the Big Apple to take on the New York Mets. Michael Wacha is going to be on the mound for the Royals. First pitch tonight is set for 6:10. On Sunday, you can take part in a 5K in honor of a boy's mission to bring smiles and help to kids battling cancer. The 9th annual Noah's Bandage Run is Sunday morning in Corporate Woods. That's in Overland Park. You can sign up on the Noah's Bandage Project website, and if you do go, you are asked to bring bandages with you to donate to that project. It's such a great event. I've been able to take part in the last couple years, and Katie, the last time I ran in a Noah's Bandage Run, I just remember having to bundle up because it was so cold.
Yeah, right.
You know, what are the odds that now this year in April. It is going to be sweltering.
Sweltering. It is going to be warm. Pre-hydrate if you're running in that 5K. But boy, what a great weekend we have for any event that you're participating in. It just will be a little hot and it will be a little windy. For Sunday morning's Noah's Bandage Run, we're expecting the temperature to be a nice 65 degrees at the race start, which is 8 a.m. and the winds will be from the southwest at 12 miles an hour. And then wait till you see how hot Sunday will be in the afternoon. But let's come back to the here and now. There's a live view of Kansas City from our Price Chopper City View. This one is on top of the tower, which isn't far from Arrowhead. It's on the other side of the highway, but it's not far from there. So that's the view. We're looking back to the city. It is 61 degrees. There's a north to northwest wind at 13 just now. It's showing that it's gusting to 21. But today is not considered to be a windy day. It'll be a breezy day. Yesterday was a windy day. We had wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. But today you'll notice the wind. It should not blow things off your porch though. Mostly sunny skies and then starlight tonight. Normal rise and fall of the temperatures, not far from where you would expect it to be this time of year. But then we get into tomorrow. On Saturday, we're going 20 degrees warmer than normal, up to 85 degrees. The humidity will increase as well, and this is the windier of the 2 days. Tomorrow, the wind will come from the south and then slightly southwest at 20 miles an hour, gusting to 35 miles an hour. And then here we are on Sunday. This is the afternoon of Noah's Bandage Run that will happen in the morning. We get to 88, almost 90. 92 is the record high. 89 in Lawrence, 85 in Odessa, 85 in Warrensburg. Everybody equally as hot, but notice not windy. These wind arrows are gentle, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And that's the wind on Sunday. So that takes you through the next few days. But I do want to point out, Monday it gets to be breezy again, up to 30-mile-an-hour winds. But let me draw your attention here to Tuesday. That's where the winds will be gusting up to 50 miles an hour, even outside of the thunderstorms. And we do anticipate a thunderstorm complex coming through sometime Monday into Tuesday. Monday severe weather outlook includes Kansas City on the scale of possible severe weather and then crosses over us on Tuesday. So stay tuned for the exact details of when to expect strong, possibly severe storms here in Kansas City. Next weekend won't be as warm.
Tomorrow, the annual Parade of Hearts gets underway. All 100 hearts will be unveiled Saturday, all together at the American Royal Governors Expo in Kansas City, Missouri. You'll also be able to meet the artists and see all of the new art from 10 to 4 on Saturday. Tickets will cost you $10 for adults. Kids 12 and under are $5, while children under the age of 2 get in for free. The Kelsey brothers are going back to school. They hosted a live taping of their podcast at the University of Cincinnati. Okay, that's pretty epic. Guests included Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, former Chiefs and current Bengals tackle Orlando Brown Jr. This was just a packed house of Bearcats. Both the Kelseys were surprised with their college degrees. They both had to miss their graduation ceremonies. Just a reminder that you can party with Travis Kelce at his second annual Kelce Jam Music and Food Festival when it happens next month. It'll be at Azura Amphitheater on May 18th. We know that Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz, and Diplo will be performing. Tickets are on sale right now through the Kelce Jam website. They say tickets are 85% sold out. Sure to be a great time. We want to thank you for joining us at noon. Be sure to join us today for more news at 4. Have a great day and a great weekend.